Welcome to the I-794 Lake Interchange Study Public Involvement Meeting. My name is Dave Pittman, and I am the Wisconsin Department of Transportation's Project Manager for the I-794 Lake Interchange Study. This public involvement meeting will cover a brief study overview, including the purpose of the I-794 Lake Interchange Study. Next, we will review the evaluation criteria used to assess the alternatives. Then we'll walk through several key analysis topics, highlighting new information and ongoing work. New topics include WSDOT's freight analysis, land use market analysis, safety, and probable cost by alternative. These new analyses represent some of the final topics to complete our evaluation of the alternatives. Our team is working towards completion of the draft environmental document that will identify our preferred alternative. Finally, we will review upcoming milestones and explain how public input continues to inform the study. This meeting highlights our most recent analysis. To view materials and information from previous meetings, visit our study website.
WSDOT is conducting the I-794 Lake Interchange study in partnership with the Federal Highway Administration and in close coordination with the City of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. The study is evaluating alternatives for the I-794 freeway corridor. The study corridor includes approximately 1.5 miles of I-794 from the Marquette Interchange to the Hone Bridge. The Lake Interchange connects downtown Milwaukee, the historic 3rd Ward, Port Milwaukee, and communities across the region. This study does not consider any changes to the main span of the Hone Bridge or the core design of the Marquette Interchange. The purpose of the project is to address deteriorating infrastructure in a manner that improves safety and operations within the study corridor, while also striving to enhance community connectivity and compatibility with local plans and development. The key project needs identified along the corridor are shown here. The study began by identifying the project purpose and corridor needs. From there, initial design concepts were developed that addressed the purpose and needs. Those concepts were then refined into alternatives. After completing detailed analysis of the alternatives, an environmental impact statement will be completed that selects an alternative for implementation. Following the environmental review, final design and construction will begin, pending approval and funding availability. From the very beginning of the study, WSDOT has committed to an in-depth public involvement program working closely with local governments, stakeholders, and the public. WSDOT has utilized a variety of different engagement methods and opportunities to gather different perspectives and feedback. The result has been a strong community conversation with thousands of comments representing various viewpoints. WSDOT has used public feedback, technical analyses, and the purpose and need to identify and refine build alternatives. Later this year, WSDOT and FHWA anticipate publishing a draft environmental impact statement. The draft EIS will document the range of alternatives considered, identify potential impacts resulting from the alternatives, and demonstrate compliance with applicable environmental laws. The draft EIS will also identify WSDOT's preferred alternative. Earlier in the study process, 3 alternative groups were identified, along with a required no-build alternative for comparison. The no-build alternative would not replace the aging bridges or ramps in the Lake Interchange. The replace-in-kind alternative would reconstruct the existing freeway in a similar alignment as today. The freeway removal alternative would remove the freeway and use the at-grade surface street network to carry traffic. The freeway improvement alternative would reconstruct the freeway with improved design features and consolidated access ramps. Both the freeway removal and freeway improvement alternatives improve surface street connectivity and provide complete street accommodations. All alternative groups are included in the environmental review. The evaluation and assessment of the alternatives is based primarily on how well each option meets the project's purpose and needs. The project needs evaluated were grouped into these 7 categories. Preliminary evaluation results are being shared at this meeting. For each project need category, WSDOT assessed existing conditions and conducted detailed technical analyses. You can review each alternative and see how it addresses the project's needs in person on the exhibit boards at the public involvement meeting or on the study website. Additional factors used to evaluate the alternatives include probable costs and environmental considerations. Probable cost ranges are provided for each alternative. Environmental studies are being completed during the environmental review process through the environmental impact statement to further evaluate impacts and support the selection of an alternative. As you review the analyses and findings, we would like to highlight new information and key topics. One of those key topics is a study of freight. Every day, I-794 plays an important role in moving freight through Milwaukee, serving Port Milwaukee, downtown, and communities across the region. WisDOT's analysis looks at how freight uses I-794 today and how each alternative could affect freight movement in the future. 30 to 37% of daily truck traffic consists of large single-trailer trucks, with the remainder made up of single-unit or box trucks. Near the Milwaukee River, trucks account for about 3% of daily traffic, roughly 2,300 trucks. The most common freight origins or destinations for trucks using I-794 include St. Francis, Cudahy, downtown Milwaukee, and Port Milwaukee. WisDOT interviewed businesses in the freight industry to better understand how they operate, how they use I-794 today, and how each alternative could affect routes, efficiencies, and costs. Here's what we heard about the alternatives. The freight stakeholders see the replace-in-kind alternative as maintaining current conditions with little change to how freight moves today. The stakeholders raise concerns about the freeway removal alternative due to longer travel times, reduced efficiencies, and higher costs. Instead of Clybourne Street, they would use Bay and Beecher Street, which are not designed for higher levels of truck traffic. The freight stakeholders identified the freeway improvement alternative as modernizing infrastructure while maintaining existing freight routes. Bicycle and pedestrian accommodations are a part of the purpose and need and one of the evaluation criteria for the study being presented today. The existing bicycle and pedestrian network within the study corridor is disconnected. Under the replace-in-kind alternative, accommodations would be restored and upgraded to the extent possible within the construction limits. The freeway removal and freeway improvement alternatives include a major investment in new bicycle and pedestrian facilities. The alternatives improve safety at intersections, address sidewalk gaps, and provide wider sidewalks throughout the surface street network to increase pedestrian comfort, with 1.5 miles of new sidewalk proposed to be constructed. The Milwaukee Riverwalk will be maintained under all alternatives. The freeway removal and freeway improvement alternatives provide new sidewalk-level bicycle facilities. This type of bicycle facility is separated and protected from vehicular travel lanes. Freeway removal would add 3.5 miles of new sidewalk-level bicycle facilities. Clybourne Street would be larger, which means longer crossing distances for pedestrians. The surface street grid would be restored east of the Milwaukee River, including the new Cass Street connection and St. Paul Avenue extension. West of the Milwaukee River, pedestrians and bicyclists would still interact with freeway ramps connecting to I-94 and I-43. Freeway improvement would add 2.5 miles of new sidewalk-level bicycle facilities. I-794 would remain elevated, keeping regional traffic separate from pedestrians and bicyclists at street level. Intersections at the ramps would be simplified to slow traffic, making crossing safer and easier. Clybourne Street would become bidirectional from Plankinton Avenue to Lincoln Memorial Drive and include a two-way sidewalk-level bikeway east of the Milwaukee River. New street and sidewalk connections east of the Milwaukee River would be added by the new Cass Street connection and St. Paul Avenue extension. WisDOT conducted a land use market analysis of the downtown area to better understand how the various alternatives could impact land and land use within I-794 right-of-way. The market study evaluated the supply trends of key land uses present in downtown Milwaukee and potential demand for those uses. The development projections for each alternative are informed by the total real estate demand projected for downtown, the relative strength of other downtown submarkets, and the specific considerations associated with the new surplus property sites and adjacent areas under each alternative. Under the replace-in-kind alternative, it is forecasted that 100% of the land in the study area would be developed by 2050, with a projected real estate value of $150 to $210 million if the large single 2.7-acre site at 815 East Clybourne Street attracts high-density development. Under the freeway removal alternative, it is forecasted that 33 to 60% of the land would be developed by 2050, with a projected real estate value of $270 to $490 million in 2050. Freeway removal outcomes are presented as a range due to uncertainty from potential traffic impacts. Under the freeway improvement alternatives, it is forecasted that 100% of the land would be developed by 2050, with a projected real estate value of $280 million. Transportation project costs are initially estimated during the planning and environmental phase and refined during the design phase. Cost estimates include construction costs, also known as let costs, non-let costs, which include engineering, right-of-way and utility costs, and cost contingencies to account for project risk and uncertainty. Construction timeline and scope of work on the freeway and surface street influence the estimated cost ranges. The estimated costs for each alternative are: replace in kind, $425 million to $575 million; freeway removal, $850 million to $1.25 billion; freeway improvement with right-hand ramps at Jackson-Van Buren, $725 million to $1 billion; freeway improvement with left-hand ramps at Jackson-Van Buren, $675 million to $900 million. Cost will be further refined during the design phase of the selected alternative. Later this year, WSDOT and FHWA expect to publish a draft Environmental Impact Statement, or draft EIS, which will identify WSDOT's preferred alternative. The draft EIS will analyze potential impacts across a wide range of natural, physical, cultural, socioeconomic, and other environmental factors. A detailed list of factors being assessed are shown here. The draft EIS will summarize all the analysis that took place during the study that led to the identification of the preferred alternative, including the public feedback received. Results will be presented in the draft EIS and shared at a public hearing in early 2027. A 45-day public and agency comment period will begin when the draft EIS is published. In summer 2027, the final EIS and record of decision are expected to identify the selected alternative. Final approval is dependent on funding considerations. Stakeholders will be invited to attend the upcoming public hearing and provide formal public comments on the preferred alternative. The public hearing is anticipated to be held in early 2027. Study team members are available to answer questions at this meeting. You can also submit comments or questions at any time on the study website at 794lakeinterchange.wisconsindot.gov. All meeting materials are available on the study website. Thank you for your interest in the I-794 Lake Interchange study.